L'acte és a punt de començar. Si us plau, apagueu els mòbils. Conduirà l'acte Anna Maillo, graduada en Publicitat i Relacions Públiques per la Universitat Pompeu Fabra.
Bona tarda. Buenas tardes. Good afternoon. Benvinguts, graduats i graduades. Us saludem i us agraïm la vostra presència avui aquí i saludem, a més, els familiars, els amics que us han acompanyat al campus i també, com no podia ser de cap altra forma, a tots els familiars, amics i membres de la comunitat universitària que ens estan seguint a través d'internet. Bienvenidos, graduados y graduadas. Os saludamos y os agradecemos vuestra presencia hoy aquí y saludamos a los familiares y amigos que os han acompañado hoy en este campus. También, como no podía ser de otra forma, saludamos a todos los familiares, amigos y miembros de la comunidad universitaria que nos siguen a través de Internet. Welcome, graduates. We greet and thank you for being here today and greet the family and friends who have accompanied you to campus. Greetings, too, to all the family, friends and members of the university community who are following us on the internet. We would like to inform you that throughout this ceremony, we will be using the university's 3 official languages, Catalan, Spanish and English, so that all of those in attendance can follow it easily. Os informamos que a lo largo de este acto utilizaremos los 3 idiomas oficiales de la UPF, el catalán, el castellano y el inglés, para que todos los asistentes puedan seguirlo fácilmente. Us informem que al llarg de l'acte farem servir els 3 idiomes oficials de la UPF, el català, el castellà i l'anglès, perquè tots els assistents el pugueu seguir fàcilment. Una vegada fet aquest apunt, ara sí, passem a celebrar l'acte acadèmic de graduació dels estudis de màster del departament de Dret de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra. I els que rebreu el diploma en aquesta ocasió sou els graduats i graduades en màster en Criminologia i Execució Penal, màster avançat en Ciències Jurídiques i màster in European and Global Law. Començarem l'acte sol·licitant la presència del doctor Ángel Rodrigo, director del Departament de Dret de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra, al qual us dirigirà unes quantes paraules, com vulguis.
Buenas tardes, buena tarde, good afternoon. Bienvenidos en nombre del Departamento de Derecho a este acto de graduación. Bienvenidos estudiantes, familiares, profesores y demás personal de la Universidad Pompeu Fabra que colabora en la realización de este acto. Me gustaría compartir con ustedes 3 reflexiones alrededor del hecho de que nuestros estudiantes han cursado un máster en la comunidad universitaria creada en el seno de la Universidad Pompeu Fabra. La primera es alrededor de la idea del máster como un viaje, la segunda alrededor del máster como un instrumento para construir una comunidad y la tercera alrededor de la UPF como una universidad catalana abierta al mundo, como un hub del conocimiento científico. Decía que la primera reflexión giraba alrededor del máster como un viaje. El viaje real e imaginado para realizar vuestro máster ha llegado a buen puerto. No es el final, pero es un puerto intermedio. Y esperamos que tanto el viaje real como el figurado, a través de los contenidos de vuestros estudios, os haya sido provechoso. Un gran poeta griego, Constantín Cavafis, decía que era más importante el viaje que el destino, que lo importante es que el viaje, en este caso la realización de vuestro máster, os haya llenado de dones, de experiencias y de sabiduría. Esperamos que vuestra estancia en Barcelona, cursando vuestro máster, haya sido así. Decía, en segundo lugar, que el máster os ha ayudado a construir una comunidad. ¿Qué quiere decir que habéis construido una comunidad? Quiere decir que compartís un lenguaje, unas formas que habéis participado en discusiones científicas con reglas compartidas, que habéis construido una red personal, social y profesional, y que el máster, en definitiva, ha contribuido a vuestra socialización en prácticas compartidas, a hacer networking, a reforzar vuestros estímulos e incentivos personales y profesionales. Ahora me atrevo a hacer una sugerencia. Cuidad esta comunidad, porque esta comunidad que habéis construido puede seros muy útil en el futuro. Cuidad esta comunidad. Y mi tercera reflexión está relacionada con la concepción de la Universidad Pompeu Fabra como una universidad catalana abierta al mundo, como un hub del conocimiento científico. ¿Qué quiere decir esta manera de entender la UPF? Quiere decir que es una universidad que, estando en Barcelona, que estando en Cataluña, está abierta al mundo. Quiere decir que la Universidad Pompeu Fabra es un espacio público en el que las nuevas ideas quieren ser expuestas o sean expuestas, sean debatidas, sean compartidas y sean difundidas. Pretendemos la cross-fertilization, la fertilización cruzada de las ideas y del conocimiento. Queremos participar en la conversación científica global y contribuir a difundir y a crear el conocimiento científico. Bienvenidos, por tanto, en nombre del Departamento de Derecho a este acto de graduación. Good afternoon. Welcome on the behalf of the Law Department to this graduation ceremony. Welcome students, family members, teachers, and other UPF staff who are collaborating in carrying out the ceremony. I would like to share with all of you 3 reflections on the fact that you have completed a master's degree in the university community created within the UPF. The first one is about the master as journey. The real and figurative trip to carry out the master is finished. It's not the end, it's an intermediate port. We hope that both the real and figurative journey through the contents of your studies has been useful to you. Constantine Cavafis, a great Greek poet, said that the journey was more important than the destination, that the important thing is the journey, in your case, the realization of your master. And we hope that this master gives you experience and wisdom. I hope that your stay in Barcelona studying your master has been like this. The second reflection is about the master as an instrument to build a community. What does it mean that you have built a community? It means that you share a language and ways, that you have participated in scientific discussion with shared rules, that you have built a personal, social, and professional network. The master, in short, has contributed to your socialization and shared practice, to networking, to reinforce your personal and professional incentives. Now, I would like to make a suggestion. Take care of this community. In the future, this community can be very important. And the third reflection is about the UPF as a Catalan university, as a university open to the world, as a scientific hub of knowledge. What does it mean that UPF is an open university? The UPF is a university that, being in Barcelona and Catalonia, is open to the world. The UPF wants to be a public space in which the new ideas are exposed, debated, shared, and disseminated. We want the cross-fertilization of ideas and knowledge. We want to participate in the global scientific conversation and contribute to spreading and creating scientific knowledge. Welcome, therefore, on the behalf of the Department of Law to this graduation ceremony. Good afternoon.
Bien, el acto continúa con la lección de graduación a cargo del profesor José Martín y Pérez de Nanclares. El profesor José Martín Pérez de Nanclares es desde el año 2009 catedrático de Derecho Internacional en la Universidad de Salamanca. Desde 2019 es juez del Tribunal General de la Unión Europea y anteriormente fue profesor titular de Derecho Internacional en la Universidad de La Rioja, jefe de la Oficina Jurídica Internacional del Ministerio de Asuntos Exteriores entre 2012 y 2019 y es experto en Derecho de la Unión Europea y autor de varias publicaciones sobre asuntos de la Unión Europea. Su conferencia de graduación se titula El Tribunal de Justicia de la Unión Europea, un poder judicial en constante estado de transformación. Professor José Martín Pérez de Nanclares has been a full professor of international law at Salamanca University since 2009. Since 2019, he has been a judge at the General Court of the European Union. Previously, he was a full professor of international law at La Rioja University and chief of the International Legal Office of the Spanish Ministry of Foreign Affairs between 2012 and 2019. He is an expert on EU law and is the author of several publications on EU affairs. His graduation lecture is entitled The Court of Justice of the European Union, a judicial branch in constant transformation.
Buenas tardes a todos. Veo que hay 3 lenguas oficiales en este acto, lo cual me alegra. A mí me han dicho que diera la conferencia de inauguración en torno a 20-25 minutos, no más de 30 en inglés, y aunque me obliga a cambiar de idioma, ya que nuestro idioma de trabajo en Luxemburgo es el francés, haré todo lo posible. Verán enseguida que lo que hablo no es exactamente inglés, sino más bien un globish, pero trataré de ser lo más cumplidor posible con esa invitación. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me begin by express my warm thanks to the organizers, in particular to the professors of Public International Law, a department of this prestigious university, for the invitation to be here with you today. It is a pleasure for me to swap Luxembourg for Barcelona, changing my courtroom for a classroom as I join all of you in this inspiring academic event. In fact, as Professor Rodrigo just said, this graduation ceremony represents the culmination of your studies over the past years. I would add, starting tomorrow, you will embark on the path to your professional life, a path that is anything but easy. It is a journey riddled with obstacles and intense competition, demanding continuous growth and adaptation. It is, in my view, a path where uncertainties about the future loom larger than ever before. However, it is, in my view, a passionate journey. If you are able to combine the knowledge and the critical thinking you have gained at the university with ambition and, above all, with the joy derived from a job well done, I am pretty sure that success will be within your grasp. It sounds maybe like a cliché, but I really think that this lies solely in your hands. Dear students, amidst moments of uncertainty, always remember that your teachers have invested considerable effort to provide you with an exceptional education in this prestigious university. Likewise, your parents, your family have often made significant sacrifices to support your training, and it is probably with great pride that you are standing alongside them in this very classroom today. Moreover, society itself has shown generosity by establishing and financially supporting esteemed institutions like Pompeu Fabra University. To some extent, you bear a debt of gratitude to all these entities. And the most profound way to pay back this debt is by becoming honest professionals capable of contributing to the progress and well-being of society. Anyway, there is no doubt that the exercise of your professions will inevitably have a European dimension. Law is becoming global, and European Union law plays a paramount role. So, let me share with you 3 key ideas in the next 20 to 25 minutes. First, the European Union, the EU, is an exciting project of voluntary integration based on values, such as the rule of law. Second, the ECJ, the European Union Court, or the Court of Justice of the European Union, assumes a pivotal role in this integration endeavor. And third, nowadays, we find ourselves at an incredibly delicate juncture that demands our utmost attention. I will start with my first idea. The Union is indeed eine Wertegemeinschaft, a community of values. This is clearly stated in Article 2 of the Treaty of the European Union. I quote, "The Union is founded on the value of respect of human dignity, freedom, democracy, equality, the rule of law, and respect of human rights, including the rights of persons belonging to minorities." And it goes on to say, "These values are common to the member states in a society in which pluralism, non-discrimination, tolerance, justice, solidarity, and equality between women and men prevail." Quote unquote. At the end of the day, I think it is the very essence of the Union, of the European Union. Thus, the EU's doors are open to all European states that comply with these values. Therefore, as required by Article 49 of the treaty, and again I quote, "Any European state which respects the values referred to in Article 2 and is committed to promoting them may apply to become a member of the Union." But also inside the Union, there exists an inherent obligation to firmly uphold and maintain these values. Therefore, as there is always a risk that a state will stray from the path of democracy and the rule of law, the founding treaties provide for, in Article 7, mechanisms to effectively address such circumstances. It provides for 2 different instruments which make possible to adopt formal warnings in case of risk of a serious breach by a member state of the values referred to in Article 2, or even to suspend certain rights deriving from the treaties, including the voting rights in the Council, in case of a systemic violation. This is certainly a complex mechanism from the political and from a legal point of view. Nevertheless, at the same time, there are simpler complementary instruments to react to a clear risk of a serious breach of the values referred to in Article 2 of the treaty. For example, through the so-called conditionality. This involves making access to EU funds conditional on compliance with these values. Thus, if these values are not complied with, the Union turns off the tap of community funds. And as you may be aware, there are, unfortunately, currently 2 member states facing significant challenges in this regard. And of course, there is always the possibility of the ECJ intervening to establish the existence of specific breaches, as we will see later on. In any case, in my opinion, it is crucial to emphasize that EU membership is a voluntary choice, and so is living, as exemplified by Brexit. No one is forced, no one is obliged to stay in the Union. And in this remarkable process of voluntary integration, The ECJ, the Court of Justice of the European Union, has emerged as a pivotal actor safeguarding the fundamental values of the rule of law. This is the second idea I want to convey to you. According to Article 19 of the treaty, the Court shall ensure that in the interpretation and application of the treaties, the law is observed. Indeed, the so-called Rechtsstaatlichkeit, the rule of law, el Estado de Derecho, is without doubt the most characteristic value of the European Union. It is its hallmark. And that is the reason why the European Court of Justice already in 1986 has described this union since l'affaire Levert as a community based on the rule of law. That being said, the ECJ is far from being a static institution. It is a judiciary in a constant state of transformation. In fact, today, the court, bears little resemblance to its early form as a court of 7 judges operating from a villa on the outskirts of Luxembourg and delivering only a handful of judgments each year. Today, the ECJ, the European Court of Justice, is the largest international court in the world. 2 jurisdictions, the General Court, the Court of Justice, 81 judges, 11 advocates general, 2,500 staff, 24 official languages, 552 possible language combinations in oral hearing, almost 2,000 judgments per year, and around 44,000 in its entire history. By the way, the only working language at the tribunal, at the Court of Justice, is still French. So if any of you wants to work for the Court of Justice, for the General Court or for the European Court of Justice, should of course speak French. Besides, the court not only holds the distinction of being the largest international court globally, it also wields significant influence within the legal systems of the member states. On the one hand, it has ensured that all states diligently adhere to EU law. Thus, when a member state, fails to comply with a specific rule laid down in the founding treaties or in a directive or in a regulation, the ECJ finds this to be the case in the framework of the so-called action for failure to fulfill obligations provided for in Article 258 of the Treaty of Functioning of the European Union. 37 cases in the past year, and by the way, 2 of them concerning Spain. And in the event of persistent non-compliance, it's not the case of Spain, it can even impose a fine. 42 times has been used this possibility. For example, there has been a member state condemned to pay 1 million euros daily for each day it fails to comply with a single ECJ ruling, and this during almost 2 years. On the other hand, the ECJ also ensures that the legal persons, the companies, comply with their obligations, and that the natural persons, the citizens, enjoy properly their rights. Remember, for example, the Google Android case. The General Court upheld a historic fine of 4.12 billion euros for illegal practices regarding Android mobile devices. By the way, the largest fine in the history of mankind. In any case, it is crucial to acknowledge that the EU Court of Justice, meaning the Court of Justice and the General Court, is not the sole entity within the EU judiciary. In fact, all judges across member states, and even all national and regional administration, are entrusted with the responsibility of applying union law. This obligation stems from the principle of direct effect, as you well know. In this regard, you all know well the instrument of the preliminary rulings. It is the most advanced tool available to foster judicial dialogue among judges operating in the European legal area. Hence, the significance and the influence of ECJ rulings are undeniable, capturing the attention of both you, specialists, and non-specialists alike. Numerous ECJ rulings have made headlines in newspapers in the last months, transcending beyond domestic political matters, including those relating to Catalonia. You can find numerous examples. The prohibition of floor clauses in Spanish mortgages, the prohibition of abusive clauses in the conditions imposed by some Spanish banks, the right to be compensated for collusive agreements in the sale of trucks, thanks, by the way, to questions referred by judges in Barcelona and Valencia, the call for ambitious environmental standards, whether in Doñana or in the water treatment plants of our cities, and even the proposed Football Super League sponsored by Real Madrid and Barcelona. These are just a few examples of the profound impact of ECJ rulings on our daily lives. Besides, if a rule of national law of a state, any rule, including the Constitution, comes into conflict with another rule of the union law will always apply. This is the consequence of the principle of primacy. However, and it is important to underline this idea, the principle of the primacy of EU law does not imply that the ECJ always and without exception has the last word. In the new European legal area, there is no hierarchy of courts. Rather, the principle of conferral, the principle of limited competencies applies. That means that each court, the national constitutional court, the European Court of Justice, and even the ECTHR in Strasbourg have the last word only in their respective areas of jurisdiction. This overlap of three different legal systems in the same territorial area, the legal system of the member states, the legal system of the European Union, and even the ECHR, the European Convention of Human Rights, greatly complicates the application of the law. Moreover, it can lead in individual cases to possible conflicts. These are exceptional, but they do sometimes occur. Actually, the Treaty of the European Union itself foresees in Article 4, Paragraph 2, that in very exceptional cases, the Union may accept exceptions based on the so-called principle of the national identities of states. And for example, the ECJ has accepted in a very recent judgment that the protection of the Latvia's national language justifies the possible restriction of the internal market of the European Union. But of course, it is not a simpler matter, and you can see a lot of books describing the difficulties of this instrument. In fact, and that is my third and final idea, Europe is currently navigating uncharted waters. Europe is presently facing what may be its most challenging period in 7 decades. No doubt, we are living troubled times. Externally, there exists an evident threat to European peace and security, particularly felt by several eastern states that share borders with Russia. But internally, also internally, the rising tide of populism, which casts doubt upon the fundamental values foreseen in Article 2 of the treaty, poses a risk that, in my personal view, should not be underestimated. Of course, this also has an impact on the work of the ECJ. However, even in the face of such extreme circumstances, the EU remains committed to upholding its values. The measures taken in the context of the invasion of Ukraine constitute a good, notable example. As you probably know, the EU has adopted 10 packages of sanctions against Russia. Well, Russian citizens affected by these sanctions have the right to appeal to the ECJ to verify that the EU institutions have observed all the guarantees in their adoption and in their implementation. And this is not, as you may well imagine, an academic hypothesis. At the moment, yesterday, my jurisdiction, the General Court, is hearing 53 appeals brought by Russian citizens and 20 more by Belarusian citizens. In each case, the court analyzes the legality of the measure taken, for example, the freezing of funds. If it finds that the guarantees required by the EU law have been violated, for example, rights of defense or failure to state reasons, it annuls the measure. In fact, it has done so in at least 7 cases, 3 times concerning Russia, among others, the case concerning the matter of, since almost, at least last weekend, well-known Wagner Group's founder, and 5 times concerning Belarus. In this regard, there are individuals, there are authors who criticize this state of affairs, but I totally disagree with some of the criticism. On the contrary, even in the most trying of times, such as in the midst of a war of aggression, the EU upholds the rule of law principle. As beautifully articulated by Advocate General Poyares Maduro in reference to the anti-terrorism measures in the well-known KD case, his words are highly applicable to the current situation. I quote, "It is when the canons roll that we especially need the laws. Every struggle of the state against terrorism or any other enemy is conducted according to the rules and law. There is always law which the state must comply with. There are no black holes. The reason, the foundation of this approach, is that the state fights in the name of the law and in the name of upholding the law. The terrorists fight against the law while violating it, quote unquote." Indeed, his words are highly applicable to the current situation. To conclude, let us not forget something important. We cannot take for granted the preservation of the values on which European integration is based. And without them, the EU is not possible. Even peace cannot be taken for granted. On the contrary, peace, democracy, the rule of law, the resolution of disputes through law are very fragile values. They are extremely difficult to achieve, but very easy to destroy. In recent years, several authors have brilliantly explained why democracies die. And they no longer die through coup d'etat, but at the ballot box. These values are the DNA of the European integration project. They are the elements that make us proud to belong to the European Union. It is therefore worth fighting for them. No doubt, the ECJ plays a very important role in this regard, but its possibilities are limited. In fact, all political actors should be involved. Actually, the society itself should fight too. In any case, I am pretty sure that you, firstly, as committed citizens, but secondly, also as professionals trained in European and global law, will ensure that the European ideal that emerged after the Second World War in Europe continues to bear the fruits it has given us over the last 70 years. If I may, as the preamble of the treaty states, we cannot forget the historic importance of the ending of the division of the European continent, as well as the commitment to deepen the solidarity between its peoples and the promotion of the economic and social progress of its peoples. Thank you very much for your attention.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Martín y Pérez de Lanclares, for your graduation lecture. Now is the time for the speeches by recent graduates who will address a few words to colleagues, family, friends, and teachers in the name and on behalf of the class of 2023. First of all, let me introduce them to you. Es la hora de los parlamentos de los recién graduados y graduadas que dirigirán unas palabras a todos los compañeros, familiares, amigos y profesores en nombre y representación de la promoción de 2023. Antes de nada, se los presento, empezando por el primer parlamento, que irá a cargo de Elvira Vergara, del máster en Criminología y Ejecución Penal. Se ha hecho esperar, pero la entrada es muy buena, así que un altre aplaudiment, sisplau.
Buenas tardes, buena tarde a todas y todos. Me dirijo a ustedes porque me solicitaron compartirles lo que significó la experiencia del máster en Criminología y Ejecución Penal, organizado colaborativamente por la Universitat Pompeu Fabra, Universitat de Girona, Autónoma de Barcelona y Oberta de Cataluña. Por ello, intentaré sintetizarlo en algunos minutos, esperando poder representar a mis compañeros y compañeras. Muchas veces, en los países en los que vivimos, ante el aumento sostenido de la delincuencia, surgen respuestas rápidas. Hay quienes piden penas más altas, cárceles más seguras, expulsiones masivas o incluso restaurar la pena de muerte. En definitiva, pareciera que la única respuesta es que haya más derecho penal y que éste sea más severo. En ese contexto, hace ya varios años, la criminología se ha abierto camino para entregar respuestas interdisciplinarias a problemas complejos. Es por eso que este máster entrega visiones desde diferentes disciplinas, ya sea desde la diversidad de profesiones y posturas de quienes componen su cuerpo docente, así como también por las formaciones de sus estudiantes, algunas psicólogas, otros policías, periodistas, educadores sociales, trabajadoras sociales, abogados, trabajadores penitenciarios, juristas, entre otros. Algunos proveníamos de Latinoamérica, otros de diversos países de Europa, otras de otras comunidades autónomas dentro de España y también algunos de Cataluña. Ese intercambio cultural y la diversidad de realidades nos permitió conversar, comprender y proponer soluciones. Por otra parte, las y los profesores destacaron por ser generosos con sus conocimientos, abiertos a debatir y plantearnos complejas preguntas que después de clases llevábamos a nuestras propias casas y que confío que también las llevaremos a nuestros países. Además, nos mostraron novedosas soluciones cercanas a la rehabilitación y a una mirada más humana de la cuestión penal. También nos alentaron a seguir profundizando en lo aprendido, sea desde nuestro ejercicio profesional como desde el camino académico. Y eso hay que agradecerlo. Y es que este máster tuvo de todo, desde aprender a cruzar datos con el programa Stata, visitar el centro penitenciario Lledoners y todo lo que implicó para quienes venimos de lejos, ver con nuestros propios ojos una propuesta concreta de cómo es una cárcel en Cataluña, e incluso tuvimos el nacimiento de un hijo de una compañera que contra viento y marea concluyó el máster. Así que no queda más que agradecer a las universidades, profesores, coordinadores y a nuestros compañeros y compañeras, ahora incluso amigos, que hicieron que esta experiencia fuese enriquecedora y nos permitiera seguir abriendo la mente para aportar lo aprendido a nuestras propias realidades. Muchas gracias.
A continuación, el próximo Parlamento a cargo de Laura Castilla Plazas, del Máster Avanzado en Ciencias Jurídicas.
Hola a todas y a todos, a los directivos y profesores, familiares, amigos y en especial a ustedes, los graduandos del Máster Avanzado en Ciencias Jurídicas. Empezaré contándoles que justo ahora reconozco en mí los sentimientos que me visitan cada vez que estoy en una transición de vida. Pues bien, creo que no me equivoco si afirmo que cada uno de ustedes se encuentra también en ello, en una transición de vida. Llegamos aquí, a Barcelona y a la UPF, motivados por intereses de muy diversa naturaleza. Y para todos estar aquí se implicó sacrificios y esfuerzos propios y ajenos. Todos nos despedimos de algo, de alguien y en general de posibilidades. Como fuera, lo cierto es que coincidimos y que nuestros caminos se cruzaron en mayor o menor medida, pero lo cierto es que lo hicieron. Compartimos el máster, pero sobre todo compartimos una experiencia de vida. Compartimos Barcelona, que es excepcional. Compartimos cañas y tapas, alegrías, tristezas, miedos. Compartimos una historia, la de cada uno de nosotros, y construimos una juntos, y esa nos la llevamos a donde quiera que vayamos. Aunque cada cual a su modo, todos vivimos un año maravilloso. En eso también coincidimos. Creo que todos sentimos alegría y orgullo por la decisión que tomamos al emprender este camino y estudiar este máster. Desde un lugar muy propio e íntimo, cada uno vivió un año en el que estoy convencida que construyó una mejor versión de sí mismo, y eso es lo más importante. No puedo, en consecuencia, dejar de agradecerle a la Universidad Pompeu Fabra por abrirnos sus puertas y a sus profesores y tutores de TFM que nos acompañaron en el proceso. Ahora, voy a volver sobre la transición de vida sobre la que comencé. Creo que la mayoría de nosotros, si no todos, nos hemos cuestionado muchas cosas al terminar el máster. El dónde, el para qué, incluso el con quién. Nos hemos imaginado mundos paralelos y vidas posibles. La inmensa mayoría, que venimos de muy lejos, partiremos a nuestros países. Otros han decidido quedarse en Barcelona y otros tantos nacieron en este lado del mundo y aquí permanecerán. Algunos tienen un trabajo que los está esperando, otros, como es mi caso, tenemos un panorama un poco más incierto. Algunos van a reencontrarse con su amor, otros van a casarse y otros a seguir construyendo una vida juntos, y otros a conocer o no ese amor, el tiempo lo dirá. Las historias son distintas, las combinaciones de elementos son infinitas, pero en todo caso también coincidimos en eso, en que todos estamos cerrando una etapa, nos estamos despidiendo de personas y de lugares que nos marcaron y que se quedan con una parte de nosotros, y al hacerlo estamos empezando una nueva vida. Y por eso, para empezar esa nueva vida, les deseo éxito profesional, que integren en sus caminos los conocimientos adquiridos este año y que este título les abra las puertas indicadas. Pero sobre todo, les deseo sabiduría para reconocer que la felicidad se encuentra fundamentalmente en lo simple y no, como a veces pensamos, en lo excepcional. Les deseo que encuentren plenitud en cualquier decisión que tomen, cualquiera ella sea. Y les deseo valentía para saltar y soltar, porque creo que el universo siempre conspira y que lo hace a nuestro favor, incluso aunque no nos demos cuenta. Por último, pero muy importante, deseo que nuestros vínculos trasciendan y que nos encontremos en alguna parte del mundo. Los quiero mucho, fue un verdadero gusto y una real fortuna esta coincidencia. Felicidades.
Bien, y finalmente, el último parlamento a cargo de Elif Nur Hazirlar, from the Master's Degree in European and Global Law.
Hi. Okay. Esteemed attendees, distinguished faculty, or dear families, and my fellow graduates. Today, as I stand here, I would like to ask you, did we come down from the thesis yet, or are we still on the rush of it? It fills my heart with joy to reflect on our time in our program. It has been a whirlwind of Barcelona life, late-night study sessions, and friendship that have shaped us into this even more brighter individuals that we are today. We have come from all corners of the globe, uniting here in Barcelona, the city that never even considers to slowing down, almost as challenging us to keep up. But, but through it all, we found solace and sport in one another. It was such a precious achievement to create this feeling of home throughout the connections that we built here together. One of the greatest gifts for masters was the opportunity to connect with people from diverse backgrounds. In our classes, we have fascinating mix of nationalities with a strong German representation. Also, a little besides the point, but we have exclusively women almost. It has been brought up by the attention of our professors as well, asking them if we hid them actually, but we didn't. We just didn't have them. In our pursuit of knowledge, we have encountered challenges that challenged us into what I believe is the official backbone of academia, existential crisis. Endless amounts of papers, reading, and the essays and the thesis, well, by I mean endless. Looking at you first, girl. But our secret is we didn't do it alone. We leaned on each other for guidance and brainstormed our way through this challenging year. And we transformed our work into masterpieces. Well, you can laugh here, it's okay. Today, we stand here as academically bedazzled individuals, ready to take on the world. Our time in this master has honed our abilities to embrace criticism, power through demanding workloads, again, first row, never shy away from the challenges that lies ahead. We have transformed into brilliant gems that shaped and polished by the unique blend of diversity, challenges, and sport this incredible program has provided us. Before we part ways, I want to express my gratitude. Thank you, our esteemed faculties whose expertise and amicability have guided us on this academic journey. Thank you, this remarkable city of Barcelona, which has been the backdrop of our adventures and providing both inspiration and equal amounts of distraction. And finally, to my dear fellow graduates and my friends, let us remember the importance of joy, of cherishing the moments we shared, and never taking ourselves or anything too seriously. As I finish my thought, I would like to quote legal icon Elle Woods. Congratulations, class of 2023. We did it! Thank you.
Well, thank you, Elvira, Laura, and Elif for these words. Gracias, Elvira, Laura, y Elif por estas palabras. And now is the time you've all been waiting for, the delivery of the commemorative diplomas to graduates of the class of 2023 of the Master's Degree in Law. Y ahora llega el momento que todos estaban esperando. A continuación se entregarán los diplomas conmemorativos a los graduados y graduadas de la promoción 2023 de los másters del Departamento de Derecho. Por este motivo, precisamente, pedimos que suban al escenario a la doctora Elena Larrauri, coordinadora del Máster en Criminología y Ejecución Penal, al doctor Joan Solanes Mulló, coordinador del Máster Avanzado en Ciencias Jurídicas, y al doctor Josep Ibáñez Muñoz, el cual ha sido coordinador del Master in European and Global Law. Bien, y ahora que ya tenemos a las autoridades preparadas, empezaremos con los graduados y graduadas del Máster en Criminología y Ejecución Penal. Así, llamamos al escenario a recoger su diploma a Xenia Escoda Argilés, a Magda Ferreira Araujo, a Fiorella Fiestas Acosta, a Paula Garrido, a Tamara Godoy Retamal, A Gonzalo Fabián Gutiérrez Sandoval. A Emilio José Hernández Carrillo. A María Jesús Landeta Cornejo. A María Alejandra Ledesma Romero. A Tatiana Martínez Piedra. A Paula Nieto Baselga. A Marina Oliver Gadixó. A Agustín Pardini. A Núria Quintana de Portafax. A Lucía Sedeño Xiordia. A Narcisa Zurugiu. A Noema Velasco Benzagur. A Elvira Vergara. Y a David Zúñiga Vera. Y si os parece, vamos a repetir un último aplauso para todos ellos. Bien, seguimos ahora con los graduados y graduadas del Máster Avanzado en Ciencias Jurídicas. Por este motivo, llamamos al escenario a recoger sus diplomas a Eduardo Achu Moscoso, a Mauricio Alfredo Astudillo Pizarro, a José Ignacio Barros Goguen, a Laura Castilla Plazas, a Martina Ailén Cendoya Yusem, a Gregorio Damia Patiño, a Valeria María Florencia de Doz Ibarra, a Ángeles Rocío Gandolfo, a Julián Felipe García Peña, a María Alejandra Guerrero Caballero, a Stephanie Hobner Asmussen, a Lisandro Loglen, a Víctor Londoño Varela, a Juan Simón López Cruz, a Ricardo Manuel López Lima, A María José Merchán Mendoza. A Sebastián Felipe Moraga Nazar. A Valentina Denís Morla Sarria. A Gonzalo Martín Preda Guida. A Marcelo Tomás Roxol Salinas. A Agustín Ronzoni. A Silvia Belén Salinas Espinosa. A Cristóbal Silva Sánchez. A Joeu Baixà. Y de nuevo un aplauso para todos ellos, por favor. And finally, we will present the commemorative diplomas to the graduates of the master's degree in European and Global Law. That's why we call to this platea to Osge Akpinar. A Julia Itziar Amorena Villanueva. A Lisandra Verwald. A María Cejas Pon. A Sara El Abdli Cherkawi. A Andrada Groza. A Zahra Hamdan. A Elif Nur Hazirlar. A Nadja Heinemann. A Erika Esther Virgita Josephson. A Christine Kerry. A Mejitula Longkumer. A Penelope Melisari. A Elena Memetzidis. A Nicolás Etienne Rebot. A Tabea Ceresia Rink. A Isaac Yael Sandiumenge Torres. A Kimberly Ina Wiltrud Sher. A Alara Sengul. A Núria Serra Zamora. A Catarina Temeyer. A Ana Bucemilovic Grgic. A Katrin Becker. A Kyung Woo. A Grecia Katia Yaranga Pareja. Y finalmente a Min Zhang. Y finalmente un aplauso de nuevo para todos ellos, por favor. Bien. Y hasta aquí la entrega de diplomas conmemorativos a todos los graduados y graduadas. Agradecemos la presencia, como no podía ser de otra forma, a la doctora Elena Larrauri, coordinadora del Máster en Criminología y Ejecución Penal, al doctor Joan Solanes, coordinador del Máster Avanzado en Ciencias Jurídicas, y al doctor Josep Ibáñez, el cual ha sido coordinador del Master in European and Global Law. Muchas gracias. Y de nuevo, solicitamos la presencia del doctor Ángel Rodrigo, director del Departamento de Derecho de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra.
Buenas tardes. No se preocupen, no les voy a propinar un discurso de corte clásico a estas alturas de la tarde y del acto. Simplemente, antes de cerrar el acto, me gustaría transmitir dos mensajes, en particular a los alumnos. Ahora sois alumni UPF y nos gustaría que sintierais esta condición con el orgullo de pertenecer a esta comunidad universitaria. Habéis compartido esta experiencia universitaria en Barcelona y en la UPF. Lo habéis hecho con éxito. Os felicitamos y creemos que deberíais estar orgullosos de vuestra experiencia y de formar parte de esta comunidad, alumni UPF. Y el segundo mensaje es una petición. Que seáis nuestros embajadores, que cuando volváis a vuestros lugares de origen, estén en Cataluña, en España, en Europa, en América, en Asia o en otros lugares, les contéis a vuestros amigos, familiares y conocidos que habéis estudiado vuestro máster probablemente en la mejor universidad catalana y española. Os pedimos que seáis nuestros embajadores. Gracias por vuestra participación y por vuestra complicidad. Before closing this ceremony, I would like to send two messages. Now you are alumni UPF. We would like you to feel this condition as the pride of belonging of this university community. You have shared this university experience in Barcelona and at UPF, and you have done it successfully. We congratulate you, and we will that you should be proud of your experience and of being part of this community. I finish with a request. Be our ambassadors. When you return to your place of origin, whether in Barcelona, Catalonia, Spain, Europe, America, Asia, and others, tell your friends, family, and that you are studying your master's degree, probably in the best Catalan and Spanish university. We demand you to be our ambassadors. Thank you for your participation.
Bien, este acto ya finaliza. La Universidad Pompeu Fabra os agradece vuestra asistencia y especialmente a quienes han sido sus protagonistas hoy, los graduados y graduadas. Nos despedimos también de los familiares, amigos y miembros de la comunidad universitaria que nos han seguido a través de Internet. Finalizaremos el acto con el himno universitario, el Gaudeamus Igitur, que interpretará el coro de la UPF dirigido por Aida Vera. ¿Os sabéis la letra? Sí, no. Bueno, no hay problema, no pasa nada. Dentro de las bolsas que os han dejado en vuestras sillas encontraréis un abanico con la letra. Y cuando esto termine, estáis invitados todos, como no podía ser de otra forma, a una copa de cava arriba en el patio de Jaume I para celebrar vuestra nueva condición de alumni de la Universitat Pompeu Fabra. Well, this ceremony has come to an end. Pompeu Fabra University is grateful for your attendance, especially to our protagonists, the graduates. We also say goodbye to family, friends, and members of the university community who are following us through the internet. We will end this ceremony with the university anthem, Gaudeamus Igitur, which will be performed by the UPF choir conducted by Aida Vera. Do you know the lyrics? Yes, no? If you don't, it's no problem. You can find inside the bags that have been left on your chair a hand fan with the lyrics, so, you know, there's no excuses. And after the anthem, you are invited to a glass of cava to celebrate your new status as alumni of Pompeu Fabra University. Ara sí, que hem arribat al final. Bon vespre a tothom, fins a una altra ocasió i enhorabona.